All right, gentlemen, and the one or two ladies that might watch my channel. According to YouTube, it's only like 7%. Oh shit, is that rain? All right, so I was fixing to update on where we're at for the Jeep and Beach Jam prep, but I walk outside and it's starting to rain. Real quick before I get soaked, I'm changing out the stainless hardware. You can see I've already done that. And I've painted the cage. Not be able to see that. Okay, guys, I'm gonna power through this rain. I'm gonna change my oil. I'm gonna talk very briefly about an oil change. Most people watching this channel knows how to change oil in a car or Jeep, but just in case, it's very easy. All you need is your oil. You know, I always get 6 quarts just in case. You need an oil filter, and you just need a socket, wrench, and a socket that fits your plug, and that's all you need. The cool thing about TJ's is you can see the oil filter right there. You can reach it from the top, and you can get your hand on it. So you don't even need an oil filter wrench unless someone tightened it too tight when they put it on for you. So you just reach down there, and here's how the process goes. You put your pan underneath it. You're going to put your oil in to dispose of your oil, which should be recycled if possible. You take the plug out, you let the oil drain into the pan. Once it stops, you pull the pan pretty much under where the oil filter is. Unscrew the oil filter all the way, so a little more oil will dump out. Put the oil filter down in the pan if you want, or dispose of it. It'll also need to be recycled. And that's it as far as taking the oil out and the oil filter off. Put your plug back in, put your new oil filter on, and then fill it full of oil right here. The only thing is that you have to watch out is when you take your oil filter off, you have to make sure this rubber ring comes with it. If that rubber ring sticks to the engine, and then you put this one on top of it, it won't seal and the oil will go flying out everywhere. When you put this on, make sure the other ring has already been taken off. When you put this one back on, dip your finger in the oil, the old oil, and give it a nice coat right here. That way when you're turning it, it goes on nice and creates a nice little seal. You fill it back up, make sure everything's tight. Not over tight, because you have a gasket on the plug and a gasket right there. Don't make sure it's not over tight. Crank up your vehicle, watch the oil filter gauge, the oil pressure gauge, to make sure that it comes up to temp, or comes up to pressure. As soon as it does, you can get out and check for any leaks. If there's no leaks, let it run for a second. You can go ahead and shut it off, then check your oil level to see if you need to add any. And it is literally as simple as that. And on a Jeep TJ, it's a 10-minute job. And it would be less than that if it wasn't for having to wait for everything to drain. So it's not complicated, guys. If you don't change your own oil, that's fine. It's so cheap to change oil at oil change places now. But at least you can know that it's done correctly if you change it yourself. It's very simple. It's one of the things like changing a tire. Everyone who owns a vehicle should know the basics behind changing oil and replacing and changing a tire. You can see I got a little bit of oil on there. I got a slight oil leak somewhere. I haven't really traced it. But you should all wipe all that off. That way you can tell if there's any new leaks once you pressure test it. This was a 16, by the way. Yours could be different because it could have been replaced at some point. That was way too much pressure. There's where your hands might get a little dirty, and if you got, if you've been driving it, it's gonna be hot. Oh, terrible. And let it drain. Alright, once it starts dripping like that, it's basically all out of there. Make sure you're changing it on flat ground so that it's pouring out properly. We're going to go ahead and put the plug back in. You can strip these and cross thread them. Cross threading is a little bit harder. You have to actually try to cross thread it, but it does happen frequently, especially if you have any damage, or try to force it. And tighten it up, and that should be good. Then I'm going to come back and clean this off, so when I pressure test it, I can tell that if there's any leaks. This part should be easier. You can see my tub down there. Just gonna reach in there best I can and unscrew it. Trying to let it fall because it does have oil in it, so it is kind of heavy. Oil will start draining. And just pick it up. And there's your old oil filter. Get your new oil filter. Get you some oil on your finger. You want to go ahead and dry your hands off, because you're going to need dry hands to get it tight. Because you're going to hand tighten it. You're not going to use a wrench to tighten it. It'll get too tight. You risk stripping the threads. You risk damaging it, and it'll start leaking. It's not made to tighten with a wrench. It's made to hand tighten. You can see I made sure that the old seal was there. See, those are easy to come off. They get stuck up there. You've got two rubber seals against each other, and it leaks like you'll know it. There'll be oil every damn where. All right, I'm gonna take the filler cap off, and we're gonna fill it full of oil. I'm not gonna tape that, because anyone knows how to fill it full of oil. I would hope you just put your funnel in there and start filling it. I usually fill it with Jeeps will hold between 5 and 6 quarts. I know that. You should look to see what your car holds. I'm gonna go ahead and put the 5 quarts in, crank it up, check it, and then I'll know if I need to add any. Before you crank it up, visually inspect for any potential leaks. Of course, that oil is gonna seep right down to the oil pan. So really that's the only place you'll see a leak. If there is one, is around your plug. A lot of people say you need to fill your filter full of oil before you install it. On a diesel truck or something with an enormous filter, yes, that's what you should do, because what's happening is the oil pump's going to pump oil into the filter, and for that brief second until the filter gets full, you're going to be without oil. But no more really than a normal cold start on a filter that size. All right, out of gear. I'm gonna check it for leaks. All right, there were no leaks, so now I'm going to see if we're full. I'm at the add mark, so I need to add another quart. All right, we are in the safe zone. We are good. Guys, another benefit to changing your own oil is you get to inspect the oil that you just took out and figure out how much oil you might be burning. Because with a 180-something thousand mile engine that has a little bit of a tick, I'm burning some oil. Not enough to really see, so I have to judge it. So I've been about 5,500, almost 6,000 miles between oil changes, and I just filled this all the way to the very tip top, which is about 5.5 quarts, because the 5 quart goes about right here and then went all the way to the top. That means I'm burning about 1/2 to 3/4 of a quart in 5,000 to 6,000 miles. It's not bad, but it does show that the motor burns a little bit of oil. Make sure you dump the oil out of your oil filter before you fill up your jug. That way you know exactly how much oil it is. You can also smell the oil, see if you smell any contaminant, gas, or coolant. Both would be very bad. You can check the consistency of the oil to see if it feels like oil, or if it feels greasy, or if it feels like it has liquid in it that's not oil, like water or coolant. So it's good to change your own oil every now and then, even if you don't do it every time. And I get it's so convenient not to do it yourself every time. A lot of people don't. So guys, that's that part. So that's 2 things down now for the beach jam. then thanks for watching. I know most of y'all already know how to change oil, but this is just a very brief overview for someone who thinks it's complicated or just doesn't understand how easy it is to change oil. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up. If you want to see a video from Beach Jam, then tune in to the channel and subscribe. We do leave in 3 days. We'll talk to y'all later, guys. Have a good day.